Yellow, 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 yellow. It is Tuesday night, and it is Tuga Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a freaking round 32 in the Primera Liga. I thought you thought the Champions League was special? You thought the Champions League was epic? Nah, nah. They got nothing. They got nothing compared to you, Liga Portugal. Nothing compared to you. Oh my God. It was thrilling. It was exciting. It was epic. It was everything you could ask for round 32. 2 laps to go, and the two Lisbon Giants struggled big time to come up with the respective victories. Oh my
Yeah.
God, those Lions, man. I'm still in shock for that Quaresma goal last 30 seconds. There were like 24 seconds left on the clock. And Alito Quaresma came up with this rocket to send the Lions to the Lisbon Derby alive. Well and alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Benfica, the day before, they got it, everything figured out. Everything, almost. And then what? And then what? Almost. They almost ruined the party. Almost, but no. They survived. They stay alive. And now everything is gonna be decided on the Lisbon Derby
Sure.
this coming Saturday.
Sure.
Mr. Benfica, Mauricio Ruano, Derek Gomez, Nino Torres here with you tonight to talk about our beloved Liga Portugal. Mr. Gomez,
Yes.
in the fate.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, if all goes well on Saturday, if we end up winning this title, we're gonna look at this game. We're gonna remember this game, and we're gonna remember Eduardo Crespo again.
Nick John is complaining. Why we're so late? I'm sorry, guys. I was late, but I was late.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, this is that game. That goal was one of those moments in a season that that could define the season. Sort of like last year's, and when Jenny scored that goal right at the end, to win the game at the Alvalade and essentially clinch the title for Sporting. That was the moment, and I think that Quaresma's goal could have been, could be the moment. If Sporting does go on and win this title, you got to remember that. You got to remember that moment as probably the key to winning the title. I mean, it was a thrilling game. For a vast majority of it, I didn't like what I was seeing. It seemed like the occasion got the best of Sporting. I thought that the passing was very tentative. I know that you mentioned that Gil Vicente was coming up with interceptions, but I think that these passes were easy to intercept. I think they were overthinking their passes. I think that they sort of let the occasion get the best of them. There were definitely nerves out there. But yeah, at the 60th minute, they made those 3 substitutions. It was funny. Those are the substitutions I sent the message to you about. I'm like, these are the 3 guys that need to come in at the 60th minute, and they came in at the 60th minute. And it's kind of weird how that worked out. But I mean, all 3 of them made a huge difference. I think they took the right guys out. I thought, Jeremiah Sanjust had a very shaky game. He's a player that's not playing with much confidence right now. And dropping DeBost, I thought DeBost was great when they dropped him. When they took out Sanjust, I thought he was great. I thought he was a catalyst to the attack. I thought Ullman took control of that midfield. He was a true leader out there. And then there's Connie Harder. I know he gets a lot of criticism for, he does take bad shots. I'm not saying that he didn't. But remember, it was that shot that he took that deflected and went to Maxi, for that goal. He brought something that Sporting desperately needed. Sporting was not shooting. Sporting was not creating chances. He went in there with energy, infused energy, taking shots, trying to make it happen. And one of those resulted in the first goal that that opened things up and that gave Sporting hope. And then, of course, that dramatic finish. So, I mean, again, if Sporting wins the title, I mean, this is the game that did it. That's won't forget it.
Of course not. Of course
Yeah.
not. And I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this message that I sent to my boy Derek Gomez. Do you tell me? Should I say this? Should I share this message that message that I text you right after the game? Should I or should I? If you tell me don't do it,
you have my permission.
I have your permission.
Yeah.
I have your permission. All right.
Yeah.
This was my message. It's meant to be. That's all I said. That's all I said.
Yeah.
All right. It's meant to be. Mikey, my boy, you were right about your fears against Estoril. Huh? You were so
I was right about
brother.
both teams. I was right about both teams.
Yep.
This is what happens right before the big games. Teams start looking ahead, and it happened again. Nino, you compared the Champions League today to Boa Vista AVS. You said there's no match for our league. You must have seen the Boa Vista AVS match.
I did.
Yeah. Hey, they pulled it off.
I know you did.
I know Mauricio watch it. I know he saw that.
Yeah, no, this is what happened. This is exactly what happened before Benfica took on Porto at the Dragão. This is exactly what happened before they took them on at home. It hits a certain point in the game, especially in this one. It was up 2-0, and they started to look ahead. Then that penalty was called, and they were rattled. Benfica were rattled. They were not the same team after conceding the penalty. It became about trying to run the clock out, and eventually they did. But they weren't the same, especially for like a 15 to 20 minute span there. They really were struggling a little bit. But Estoril's been tough. This isn't the first time they were tough with anybody. And this is why Benfica needs to get on the front foot early and be carried by the fans. It was, again, the fans were there from start to finish. It was a home game in Estoril Stadium, but it was a Benfica home game. And they did what they had to do. Here we are. We're at this game now, and honestly, it can go either way. It can go any way, depending who's going to be efficient on the day. I think is going to be the difference on Saturday. Absolutely. Benfica were not as efficient in this game. When Benfica is efficient, they can play with anybody. When they're not, it'll be tough against anybody, and I think the same goes for Sporting. So this will be it could be great. It could be terrible to watch. No. It could be two teams afraid to do anything. No. Who knows what's going to happen? But here we are. We're at this game. Both teams got here, level on points. Yeah. This is the game that everybody wanted. So
this is
it's 2000. It's 2005 all over again.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, 20. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, a different result. But yeah, I mean, it was 20 years ago that the same thing happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was the next to last round.
Yep.
And it came down to a Benfica goal in the 85th minute.
Yeah.
So it's
2005.
2005 is the same, yeah. Same scenario. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, man. All right. No, but
there's 20 years later. Yeah.
And guys, I got the leaders at the bottom of the screen, but I got Mauricio top. Maybe because one of these two teams is going to be safe from relegation. I was going to ask about the Braga Santa Clara. I was going to say that Nino was right about Santa Clara not derailing from the top 5 positions. But that's not where the drama is, brother. The drama is not there. The drama is at the bottom of the table with Boa Vista. Oh, my God. Are they going to survive or not? Tell me that, Mauricio. Are we going to survive? Are we going to have the Black Panthers next season here or not?
I feel like the only way they can survive is through the playoff. I don't think they're going to be able to jump everybody to get the whole qualification. Because right now, all 3 of them are tied. And I think their only hope of survival...
And they're 5 points from safety.
Exactly. And Boavista's next game...
They're all fighting for the playoff.
Yeah, and Boavista's next game is Porto. So that's already hard for them to beat. But I give Boavista credit. They were down 1-0, and they came back, and they took that game from Obs. And you can see on Obs' face after that game, their bench, they were like deflated. It was like their season just ended when they beat them. Yeah, that's right. That's why I got the cup.
Yeah.
Nick's right. I was ready for that. So, listen, Boavista is the only way surviving. Me and Mikey's talked about this, and Derek, they should actually even have to go down for what they have done.
Regardless of what happens.
Their salaries not being able to pay the players, it's just in shambles. What's been going on over there for the last 2 to 3 years, not just this year alone.
Yeah, they need to hit
Yeah.
the reset button.
But
Yeah.
I feel like OBS right now is not in a good place. AVS is not in a good place right now the way things are going. Because Boavista, let's say they can't even get a point from that Porto game. I can still see them get another point or something that last game of the season. And it all comes down to that last game of the season. And it's tight. And it's really tight. And they're all going to battle for that playoff spot. Because I feel like Estrela is safe with their 29 points.
Yeah.
I feel like they're safe.
Yeah,
they're
safe. They're safe.
Yeah, that game that they had against Porto saved their season.
Mhm.
That game
Right.
was their
Absolutely.
season, saved their
That pretty
season.
much clinched it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a one-place battle between AVS, Boavista, and Feirense for a playoff spot against the third-place team in the second division, which right now I believe is Alverca.
It changes every week.
It
that
changes
that
every week
division,
down there.
that division's so
It's
tight.
so neck and neck. Yeah.
Because right now, the second division, it's Tondela first place, Vizela second place, Alverca in third place right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I was gonna ask you that about who's first. I forgot about Tondela, man. I like Tondela, man.
But
like
also,
Tondela.
Nina, just to let you know, since we started this playoff, no team in the first division has won that playoff.
No,
it's always
it's
been
the
a
op-
second division
The
team that's
opposite
won.
of
Yeah,
the German.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always been a second division
Yeah.
team that's won.
I know. That's I like it. I like that, man. It's gonna be so exciting, that battle for that third spot, man. It's gonna be brutal.
Intense. Yeah.
Mr. Gomez, so
Yeah.
why you coming with this comparisons or stats or history when you got the downside of the story? I want to come up with a positive side of the story, which is Sebastian Coates scoring the 94th-minute goal against who? Gil Vicente against when they won the title in 21.
Yeah.
I think it's
Of course.
I'm sorry, Mikey, but I've been calling this one since day one. So that's what I'm saying this now with Borges making the right substitutions at the right time, making the right adjustments. I think right now, Rui Borges is not absolute control, but he is in command. He has the command of the team for this final stretch of the season.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I've always, again, I'm not a giant Rui Borges fan, but I will say that he's a leader. And this team needed a leader after the debacle called João Pereira. Yeah, there was this statistic that it showed the league, and they had the points, the average points per game. Obviously, with Ruben, he went 11 for 11, so like he averaged 3 points a game. Rui Borges has had a respectable 2.4 points per game in his command of Sporting City took over, and João Pereira was averaging 1 point per game. So, Rui Borges had his work cut out for him, and I think he's done as good as he possibly could. He righted the ship, after what happened with João Pereira. And again, he's sort of still, even though he didn't directly follow up Ruben, he's following up Ruben, which is a very tough act to follow, with Ruben, what he's done in the 4 years, what he did at the beginning of this season. And I think, he's done an admirable job. I think that he's, he has righted this ship. He is the leader. He's in command. Like you said, I agree with you. And right now it's I know this league is 34 rounds, but it comes down to this one game. It's a true final. It's there's going to be electricity on the pitch, so it's going to come down to this one game. I mean, that's it. Kudos to Rui Borges to get us to this game with the same number of points at Benfica. He enabled us to fight for this title. He kept us alive, kept us afloat, and now here we are facing this one game, going into this stadium. There's going to be 60,000 fans against you. So his leadership is going to be critical. How is he going to prepare this team? How is he going to prepare this team primarily to weather the storm that Benfica is going to come with, especially in those first 15, 20 minutes when they're going to have the crowd behind them. How can Sporting weather this storm? Porto was unable to do that, in that game at home when they went to the Stadio Luz. They weren't able, to deal with that electricity. They weren't able to deal with Benfica's energy. Is Rui Borges going to prepare this team? Are they going to be ready, to deal with what Benfica is going to throw at them? And again, especially, I want to just emphasize those first 20 minutes are going to be critical. So, I mean, again, like I agree with what Mike said. Anything can happen. Anything. Nobody has a crystal ball. Anything can happen. So, we'll see how things play out.
Look at what Regina is saying here.
Yeah,
Rui slowly but surely has brought back the energy in the locker room. Look at this person, social media, all going out and hanging out together. They have become a strong family. And
you just got to remember that we were going down like the Titanic. João Pereira was the captain of the Titanic. And he salvaged this, and he got us to this point, and it's one game to rule all. Yeah.
So what's the question to
it comes down to
it goes to the last game.
It goes last game.
And if they're still the same in points, it goes down to goal differential.
Yeah.
No,
head to head.
Head to head.
Sporting would have to drop. They
Yeah.
Benfica would need Sporting to drop points if
a tie would slightly benefit Sporting. Yeah.
Because Sporting won the first Clásico. Right.
Correct. Yeah. So they'd have the advantage head to head. So if they win like they go into round 34 and they both win, for instance, Sporting's the champion.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So if there's a draw in the derby and they both win in the last one, Sporting's the champion. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got more points.
Right. So when we're talking about commands, right? I want to talk about with Mikey about their comandante. El comandante Nico Otamendi is going in 3 of the last 4 matches for Benfica. Talking about timing, talking about leadership, talking about the comandante. Mikey?
Yeah, he's leading by example. I know he conceded the penalty, but he's leading by example. He's getting on the offensive end. He's scored more goals, I think, in the last 4 weeks than in the previous 4 years.
Yeah.
It's just a sign of somebody knowing that I think his even if he comes back for another season, his time as the guy, running that defense is coming to an end, and I think he wants to go out on top, and he's leaving it all on the pitch right now. He's going to make sure that there are no regrets, that he leaves it all out there in these last 2 matches. It's great to have him. I mean, you remove him, and the rest of the back line is incredibly young. You got a 21-year-old, Antonio Silva, same age for Tomás Araújo. Samuel Dalt started the last game. Carreras, they're all very young. So without Otamendi, I mean, he is the glue that keeps all these young players together. And I think he knows he's in the twilight. He's near the end, and he wants to go out in the best way possible. And he's just leaving it all out there.
Look at Nick. Hold on a second. Nick is saying this, right? Talking about penalties and having only 2 yellows the whole season.
Yeah.
It's a curious stat.
You know what? Somebody said this to Nick. I don't know who that guy was. They came into a fight on Twitter because this guy said to Nick,
"You don't say."
I think you're a Benfica, Nick, because you're talking about Benfica. He knows more the stats about the Benfica players than his own players. So what's up with
That's
that,
typical. Nick? That's typical. That's one of the things we say about Sporting. We're on their mind a lot more than they are on ours.
Oh my God. Oh my. It's incredible, man. Mauricio. Santa Clara Braga. Even Forces, huh? Even Forces, it's another proof that Santa Clara was not a fluke.
No. I like the way Santa Clara came into the game. They made Braga play their game. Yeah. They came in. They even roughed up Braga a little bit within the midfield and everything. They played their slow-paced, steady defensive game. They tried to slow up the game as much as possible in that game, which is what they want. They want that game to be slow, sloppy, rough in the midfield. They want you to fight for every inch in that midfield to get to their goal, and that's what they did. I was impressed with Braga and their performance, especially on the road and everything. Braga got them early in the second half. They came out good in the second half. But I know you were calling the game. That Santa Clara chance at the end of the game, I don't know how they don't score. They had a 3-on-2 counterattack. And this guy, Nino is screaming for this guy. Okay, shoot. He doesn't shoot. And then he waits the last second to pass the ball, and he passes behind the guy. They had the perfect chance to steal that game.
I know.
Yeah. But no, I was very impressed with Santa Clara. Listen, their coach has been outstanding. They were lucky that Botafogo wasn't able to steal him out of there. That would have screwed up their entire season if they were able to do that, especially to a small team like that. But no, they played a really good game. They stayed packed like they usually do, compact in the back. They didn't give up a lot of stuff. Hornacek made up a good couple saves again for Braga. He's come up really. He's been very impressive. But Santa Clara.
We were complaining that there were not goalies to look for, and he's probably the one that is standing out more than everyone else.
And Ricardinho on Santa Clara is on fire. I think he's scored the last 3 games.
He's a good baller.
Yeah, he's been playing some really good soccer the last 3 games for Santa Clara.
Love that guy.
No.
So, guys, I want to share another of our private messages with Mr. Gomez, right? Because
he's got a lot of messages.
Boom. What's her name?
It's usually me crying.
Scores, right? You said the scores, the penalty, and then Gomez is like, the nightmare begins.
The nightmare begins.
what was my reply?
It was
my reply?
It was a 60-minute nightmare, man.
We're exposing this. Games are 90 minutes long. That's all I said.
No.
Booyah, man. Booyah. At one point, so that was exactly right after the penalty, right?
100% penalty.
And it wasn't right. The right
was a
call,
penalty.
It was a penalty, right? There's
a clumsy tackle.
Yeah.
It was a clumsy tackle from a guy who's not playing with any confidence.
Yep.
So Derek mentioned the presence of Morty Hillman, right? I think he put everything together for Sporting because they were losing it.
Massive.
They were losing it, all right? And they were losing their minds because they were not creating serious offensive chances.
No.
Because everything that they advanced, they gained yards and yards and yards and yards. And as soon as they reached the end zone, as soon as they reached the final third, boom, interception. There were like 11 cornerbacks playing for Gil Vicente on that game.
Yeah.
But Morty figured it out.
He did. Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. Again, I also do want to give credit to Gil Vicente. I can't just, say that this is all on Sporting. I thought that Gil Vicente had a wonderful game plan. They did play with a low block, medium low block. And they did a really effective job of neutralizing Victor. I thought they were very effective in their double teams. I thought they were able to get him outside the box. You saw Victor having to come back almost to the midfield to get the ball, or midway, back in the final third to just to get the ball. So I think that that was their strategy. That was their plan. If we can neutralize Victor, we can neutralize Sporting. Have somebody else beat us. For 80 minutes it worked. Because if you watch the game, Victor didn't have a single chance. He didn't have a single chance to score. So I got to give Gil Vicente their due. I also do think, going back to what I said earlier, I do think that the occasion was getting to Sporting. I thought that they were overthinking these passes. Whereas these guys have each passed the ball hundreds of thousands of times.
They were trying to do one extra pass, right?
It was.
One extra touch, right?
It was almost like they were just overthinking it. And there were a couple of performances. Prior to Maxi's goal, he was not having the best game. Especially compared to the last few weeks where he's been great. So you did have a couple of guys there that were not playing as well.
Yeah.
The games said, yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's going into that. I don't know. what they're saying here is that they didn't try against Benfica, but they tried.
Yeah.
This is a
Mhm.
I mean, these
You're
guys are
reading between the
professionals. I mean, they want to win every game. They want to stay up. They want
Mhm.
points. You know, how many? You know, again, I mean, we can go into this where Jorge Jesus obviously is Sportingista,
Mhm.
and he was
And
great.
Ruben was obviously a Benfica.
And Ruben's obviously a Benfica,
So-
and look what he did.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember when Zach Cruzeiro was coaching Vitória de Setúbal, and Zach Cruzeiro is Peter Teo's
He's got Peter
grand
Teo in his
nephew.
name. Yeah. It's
His
Yes.
grand nephew. Peter Teo is an icon of Sporting. You know, Cruzeiro ran for the presidency. And I remember him coaching Vitória de Setúbal to a victory against Sporting. You know, it's you can have your allegiances, but on the pitch, you're a professional and you want to win. You want to keep your job. You know? So I just don't know about that. But yeah, you know, I mean, just going back to you know, what we were talking about, you know, those substitutions didn't make a difference. You got to look at Morita too, who's been injury plagued as well. He was not sharp, and you know, taking him out and putting more in made a big difference. And obviously, Pot has these. Yeah.
Right away, 2016.
Yeah, but I mean, Pot again. I love the guy. I think that physically he's there. I thought for those there's flashes of brilliance, but the sharpness isn't there.
Right,
He was gone for too long.
Yeah,
if
the season would have had 5 more games, he would have been in perfect shape. But
yeah. Like I mean,
he needs
you know,
more.
for next season he'll be ready to go. But yeah, I mean, again, you know, with Kenda coming in, there was that infusion on the wing, you know, that we did need. But Morton, I think was, you know, the key to this whole thing. You know, he came in there, you know, and he led the team, you know, to this victory. I also like what he did at the end, and it's sort of a sad commentary on Portuguese refereeing. At the end of the game, he ran into the locker room just in case they don't throw cards at the end of the game, which is what they do in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a couple of weeks ago, Conrad Harder got a red. Yeah, he got a red for yelling out, "Yeah." He got a red, and he couldn't play. So you know, Yulman
It's absolutely different than what was his name? The Real Madrid player was his name? Bellingham, right?
Yeah, Bellingham.
Hey, fuck off. That's a different story.
Yes, sure.
It was so funny because the Spanish media, they were trying to that's not the same thing as this thing. Like, no, brother, it's undefendable. Mikey, so you said that you were looking over the next game and everything else, right? But why do you sold that much, man? Why you sold that much in the second half, man?
Why? Because they were looking forward. I'm telling you, that penalty shook the team, and after that, they were afraid to make mistakes. They were afraid to go forward. They were, well, maybe not to go forward, but to take chances going forward. Yeah. And it's the same exact thing as against Farense before we played Porto. It's the same exact thing. It is exactly the way that this is what I've seen year after year before you go into these classics. If you go in too strong, it almost always has the opposite effect. The team that comes into these derbies and these classicos on the back of a big victory comes in overconfident and gets a reality check. And I think this is all in the back of the players' mind. The pressure's immense on both teams right now. They both know it. And that clock hits 60, 65, and they're waiting to see it in because they want to get to this derby.
I want to play the next game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the other thing. They don't want to get an injury. They don't want to pick up a needless card. You know, everything is there. So they just want to get through the minutes and get out of there.
Yeah.
What was just Tank City? What is this Tank City? What's Tank City? What is this thing? What is this thing? Brother, why you come up with that name, brother? City. That work. All right. Anyway, you see that things that they tried to get a yellow out of Jokeris, right? Right after the what I asked him. Oh Jesus!
Go ahead, go.
The comments went away. You can call me Andre. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
It's like you can
We're
call me
talking about
Andre.
question.
That's better. But what about you put
I don't
your
know if it
nickname
was
as
I
Andre
just see
instead
no
of
question.
Really, whatever. Anyway, so what was Nick saying? Hold on. That they tried to get a yellow out of Gyökeres right after the go-ahead goal. Right after that go-ahead goal. But,
yeah, two guys knocked.
Two guys that
Gyökeres
pushed him down. They tried to.
One guy knocked him down, and
Yeah.
then another guy shoved him again in the back, try to like start something.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
That's football, man.
Nothing happened there, right? But
neither one of us are surprised. Neither one of us are surprised.
It is what it is. I think we're pretty much, both teams are pretty much at full strength. Yeah. So the best players are going to be out there, and
exactly.
We'll see what happens. That's that.
Mr. Gomez, I'm sorry, I'm going back to Mauricio. I was skipping Mauricio for a second or two or three, like I said during the broadcast.
I'm here for Mauricio's take on the Casapia game.
That was my next question.
Mikey, you called the 0-0, didn't you?
I think I did get that.
You called that one?
I think you got it right.
0-0, dude.
It was zeros.
So what was the game that was postponed for the rain? The Rio Ave game, right?
Rio Ave and Estrela Amadora. Yeah.
Rio Ave Estrela, right?
Because Rio Ave plays their games at Paços Ferreira because their stadium's always under construction.
Yeah, it's been. It was under destruction for years. So they were just knocking things down.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
But now, so what are your thoughts on Braga now, Mauricio? You think they're gonna steal that number 3 from Porto, or is Porto gonna be finally,
I think Porto might get a grasp on it only because I feel like the schedule is going to help them. Braga still has to go and play Benfica. Even though they're playing at Braga, you still have to play Benfica. That's a hard match coming up. I'm trying to see right now who they play this week, Braga.
They got Casapia coming up.
Yeah, and that's not an easy match either. And Porto's going to play Boavista. And there's no way Porto's going to be dropping points to them.
No.
I don't know. But Boavista might park the bus in front of the net and wait for that one counterattack. Who knows? But I feel like Braga slipped their chance this game.
They shot themselves in the foot.
They really did. They shot themselves in the foot. Even the game before, they shot themselves in the foot.
And Estrela plays ABS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why, you got that game, Nino? You got that game?
No, I got the derbies. I got the derbies.
That's
all he gets.
Yeah. I don't know. But this is the thing, Mikey. How does it work again with the Taça, 3rd or 4th place? Does 4th place go to Conference League, Europa League? How does it work?
4th place will go to Europa League this year because the Taça spot moves down to 4th place because
that 4th spot. Do you have to qualify to get in, or do you go directly
have to qualify?
In?
They go in a round early.
Yeah.
So 3rd place goes
straight.
Goes straight. So that's the difference.
Ideal. Yeah.
3rd place, you're guaranteed.
Yeah, because the cup winner is supposed to get the automatic bid straight into the league phase, but the cup winner will be in the Champions League, so it'll bump down to 3rd place.
Yeah.
So right now, Guimarães in 5th will go into the Conference League.
Yep, they're right where they want to be.
Yeah.
How many spots in the conference? Is it 2?
Just
one.
Just one. Oh,
and then if the 4th place loses their playoff, they would drop down.
Yeah. Yeah. They would go into the Conference League with Guimarães.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I feel like Braga had their chance to secure that 3rd spot.
They had 2 chances.
They let it go. And Derek said this before. I think he said it last week. This was their year with the way Benfica and Sporting had that kind of like not that great season to kind of be competitive with us up there for that league title. And they kind of let it slip in the first half of the season. Not with the Europa League and the scheduling and then the losing players and stuff like that. It's just they just had a rough up and down season. They've been more have more stability now these last 2 months since January.
It's the best football.
Yeah, but it's been a little too late to catch up with us with all those league points and everything. But listen, there's one more game left.
But I mean, third place was theirs for the taking.
Yeah, third place is there for the
There's for the
taking.
taking. They dropped 4
It
points
just-
in the last 2 rounds.
It just
Yeah.
depends on the scheduling for Braga. I feel like that last game is going to mean something for them, and it's going to mean something for Benfica too.
It could be. It could.
Yeah. I think the good thing for Sporting this week was that tie with Santa Clara with Braga. Because now that game with Benfica, I feel like they have to come and play strong that game if they want to get a chance for that third spot. So that's kind of a benefit too. Guimarães also wants to, Guimarães has a secure spot on that fifth spot. There's no one catching up to them for that fifth spot.
Yeah.
Mr. Gomez, at one point, do you think that after, of course, I'm talking about
it's only 3 points for fifth. Fifth is only a 3-point lead right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with something.
I just feel good.
Only?
I just feel Guimarães got it.
They should
I think
after
Guimarães
they
got
should
it
take
too.
care of it with Boavista this week.
Yeah.
They have to go to Alvalade their last game, but
yeah,
we'll see how things go.
Hold on a second. Where's it? 3 points, right? The Guimarães 54, Santa Clara 51.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Santa Clara has Famalicão and Farense left.
Mm-hmm.
The finesse is going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course.
And that game's
Of course it
in
will.
Faro.
Oh yeah, that stadium's going to be rocked. Yeah.
Going to be full.
A São Luís Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like that stadium man, because it's close to the beach, isn't it?
Oh, I hated playing there in the 90s. Holy shit.
Oh,
yeah.
When they had Hassan there,
Hassan,
yeah. And Peter Rufai in goal.
And Peter Rufai in goal, he'd make an amazing save, then he'd just give up the he would give up the silliest.
I know Peter Rufai. I know that.
He was Nigeria's national keeper.
He played in the World Cup when it was here in the U.S.
Brother, you know what? He came. I know that guy. No, but he I mean, I got on Instagram. He follows me. He came to Lima.
Get him on Tuga.
There we go.
He played in the Portuguese league.
Oh,
Tell him we love Farense.
Yeah, we love Farense.
The guy, I talk to the guy all the time. He's like, "Oh, I love your podcast," and we message each other. He sends me pictures. I didn't know, man. Crap, I want to invite him, man. I'm gonna invite him to do it. I mean, yeah, that's like, oh, that's
crazy. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Gomez.
Yeah.
At one point in the second half, you were about to lose the faith.
Yeah.
At what point? Tell me at what point you say like, "Oh crap, Morris came, but it's not happening." And so when do you see like, "Oh crap, it's not gonna happen"?
I mean, the first shot on target was in the 81st minute.
I know.
there was nothing to be optimistic about.
No.
Like it just we were not creating, we were not penetrating. The passes weren't coming off. We weren't able to get Victor involved. It didn't look good, for a majority of the second half. It just didn't look good. It looked like this could have been, this would have been like it would have been in line with losing that Europa League final to CS Kappa. It felt like that. Like this is you had a stadium packed and you're just letting everybody down. And it was because there weren't any signs that we were going to, break free of this. But yeah, again, it was just, a magical last 15 minutes. And geez. I don't know if there would be a post game if you lost.
He would say, "Hola, ¿qué tal?"
Yeah.
I don't think.
Why do you think they were so hesitant just to even shoot the ball?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, it was so hesitant. It was almost like they were overthinking it. They were trying to be too perfect. It didn't look good. I mean, I think Mauricio, you have my back here. They were not giving me any signs that they were going to pull this one out. But then the goal came. And then those last 10 minutes, you finally saw them becoming a more threatening team. I know Connie Harder had that header that I thought was going to go in. I almost collapsed, but because he had great position and the keeper made the save. But you finally started seeing them create, get into the box, They gave us hope after that goal that they were gonna, pull this out. And then it was just great to see Eduardo Quaresma score the goal. He's been with Sporting since he was 8 years old. So for him to have this moment at the Alvalade in front of 50,000 people, it's probably, this guy has dealt with so much adversity. He was loaned out to Tondela. I think he played 10 games. He wasn't good enough for Tondela. He went to Germany to play for Offenheim. He made 4 appearances in the entire season. This guy's career was in the wilderness. And now he's on top of the world. So it was great to see that. It was a great moment. The guy was crying. It was such an emotional moment. And again, if we do win the title, that will be the moment of the season.
Mikey, who you think it brought the what Morty brought to Sporting in the Benfica's game? Who was the guy outside of Otamendi? Did anybody stand out to you in this game, in this second half, that were so close to draw the points again?
Well, Auschwitz was big again. His consistency was there again. He gets the first goal, and the team is just there's no really one guy, pulling the strings right now. Everybody's kind of doing their job. Even when they're not doing it well, they're getting it done. It was, I think, Otamendi and Auschwitz really are the two key guys. Dahl had to slide in at left back and fill in for Carreras. He did a good job, and we got a lot of work from Pavlidis up front. He didn't get any goals, but he got a lot of work. He created spaces. We had Artur Koglu still looking on good form. He's good on the ball. He's creating chances. He's moving it. He's creating space for teammates. I think overall it was a good performance for 60 minutes, and then it the nerves and the time watching came in, and again they were looking for that final whistle to get to this game.
Oh my God, man! And when I saw Laje, man, Laje was he was on fire on the sidelines. He was like, "Come on, let's go!" He was pumping on the crowd. He was just so emotional. I haven't seen it like that, man. I haven't seen it like that. So fiery.
Sometimes when he's under pressure, he sometimes tries to become the populist, as they call him. It's like one of his split personalities. Sometimes
like the guy from Fracture, right? That guy got like 19 personalities or so.
Yeah.
Crazy guys, look at who's back. Who's back?
That's not his name.
He changes his names all the time, man.
What happened to the Rui Borges project?
Rui Borges method, the Jerome Pereira method. He told us to
trust the process. Trust the process is back.
Trust the process.
And Nick Joe is saying this about the press conference for Anselmi. Guys, so do you think if Porto loses, not if they draw, if they lose to Boavista, I don't think it's a dragao or not. Is that a dragao?
I think it is.
No, I think it's a
no.
It's at Bessa.
It's at Bessa. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So if Anselmi loses to Boavista, is he done?
Yes.
He's going to be very rich if he's done. They're going to be paying him a lot of money.
I don't know. I don't know if how is there a path forward after you lose to Boavista? I don't know.
Maybe that's what he wants.
I don't think they'll even let him. I don't even think they'll let the bus leave the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. There was the game that they kept him after school after one loss or whatever. So that I don't know how. I don't think it's a path forward if you lose to Boavista.
It will be catastrophic, I think, for
yeah, it would be.
I think they're gonna win.
I think
they've got to win.
Yeah, I think
they'll already know Braga's result also. So Braga plays Saturday, Porto plays Sunday. So.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. Who Braga plays, Mikey?
They're at Casapia on Saturday.
Oh, at Casapia. We'll see what happens there. So, Mr. Ruano, dime. My Spanish is. Dime now. Spanish attacking me now. You know, sometimes I'm calling the game, and then I got this Spanish attack
Yeah.
in my brain. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta keep it quiet, man. I gotta keep it quiet for a second. Like, Jesus, man, put it together, put it together. And it reminds me of this guy. I got my buddy. He was a Senegalese, right? And he spoke French, whatever other language speaking in Senegal,
Yeah.
in English and Spanish, right? I mean, he told me that this happens to him from time to time.
Sometimes the wires get crossed.
Sometimes, all the languages they're just crashing into each other, and he's like, "All right, I gotta keep it quiet. I'm gonna keep it quiet for. Let's just sit down and I'm not talking to anyone in any language.
Yeah.
And just sit down for a second, and then boom, okay, everything is clear again. That's what happens to me sometimes. Braga. So, what's the outcome for Braga this season, Mauricio? Huh? Because for me, even though if they, I mean, they're fighting for that third place, they're about to get that third place, but it's not. It's like, for me at least, it's not like I'm not gonna say that they don't deserve it, but they earn it in a way that it wasn't spectacular. Does it make sense?
No, it makes sense. It's kind of disappointing too the way they fell out of the Europa League. I expected more from them. The team that they lost to and everything, like they beat a good Lazio team in Europa League, but then you go out and you lose against a team like I forget the team that they were playing for Belgium. I think it was Anderlecht or someone like that, and they lost that game. And I was like, for them to be below that bar and not even to qualify to be in the playoff in the Europa League was kind of disappointing. And I think that, like Derek said, once they were out of that league, that's when they gained their legs into this in the Primera Liga to make that run to come back. Because we all know they had just a bad start to this league, the way things started out and everything like that. We've even had some people say this is probably one of the worst rosters that they put together, with so many people that they lost Banza, their leading goal scorer. He just left because he just wasn't getting along with the coach, who was the coach who left after the first game.
Yeah.
So you let your goal scorer go, trusting this guy. The guy couldn't even get past the first game. So it was already not the right start. And they just couldn't put a lot of injuries. Zalazar was out for a while, and then he was supposed to be transferred out. And then the transfer didn't go through. And then he came back to the team. And then Horta was all by himself. They didn't have a forward. They got Navarro on loan. Then Navarro got hurt. He was out a few games.
Yeah.
It was kind of an up and down. Do they deserve the third the way that? Probably not. But you expected more because Sporting wasn't at their A+ game after they lost Ruben. Benfica wasn't. They got rid of Schmidt. You would expect them to be more competitive with the way the season for the top three went this year for them. So for me, if I was a Braga supporter, I'd kind of be a little down because, like we've been talking about, you probably could have got something out of this. Even,
this was the year they had to be on point.
This is the year they could have had it. It kind of falls on their president a little bit, the way the things shambled up and everything. He's already come out again. And he's like, I'm going to run for presidency again, and I want to do this. Well, listen, dude, you're just like a politician here in the United States. You can do all that talk, but you got to show something. You can't you keep just putting yourself out there and doing this. So
and he destabilized that team for the first 2-3 months this season.
Yeah, he really did.
He really did.
Like you said, I kind of agree with you. Do they deserve it? No. Are they like where they're supposed to be? Maybe, but they could have put up a stronger campaign than what they did.
I mean, does Porto really deserve the third place either?
No. Not really.
No.
Damned if you don't.
Mr. Gomez, looking up to the next game, looking up to a little bit of a preview for this match. How are you feeling?
I have no clue what's going to happen. The one thing I can say is I don't think it's going to be. You're not going to have 90 minutes of Benfica, and you're not going to have 90 minutes of Sporting. There are going to be good phases for each team, and it's going to basically boil down to who makes the most of when they're on top of the game. That's it. If you have a good 15, 20 minutes and you come away with those 15, 20 minutes with nothing to show for it, then you got to hope that, when Benfica gets their 15, 20 minutes, they don't capitalize. It's really going to come down to that. I mean, if you look at the Alvalade game, Sporting had a good first 45 minutes. They came in with energy, and, in those 45 minutes, they got the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite in the second half, Benfica had their 45 minutes and they didn't score.
Right.
And Sporting won. So it will come down to that. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think you're just going to have one team just completely dominate. There's just going to be periods, when one team is up and the other team is up, and it's whoever takes those chances, when they're up, that's going to decide this game. I really don't know how this thing's going to turn out. I mean, usually you have a feeling about a game. I have no feeling about this. I have no clue what the hell's going to happen. I can hope, but right now, I'm in limbo. I don't have an opinion.
Look at Trust the Process guy.
That could be. It could be 2-2. Who knows?
Yeah,
So Mikey sent me this small video on Instagram. With what that he's one of my favorite players of all time. He's one of my favorites of all time, especially playing in World Cups. He sent me this video, right? But who's the player that he kicks from behind? Mikey?
I can't tell who it is. I can't tell who the Sporting player is. But he completely just runs up and kicks him from behind. And
it was just brutal.
The referee just simply tells him to knock it off. The good old 90s.
Coming from that video that Mikey sent me, Mikey, do you expect something like this? I mean, not exactly like this, but it's like all grinding and it's just something like that,
It all depends. I mean, if the game stays 0-0, nobody's going to be able to make any risk like that. Tempers will flare if something happens that incites everybody. But Figo's number 7. It was number 8 that he kicked.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't think it was Balikov either, but I couldn't tell who it was. He probably kicked Figo also in that game. That's probably because he didn't even get a card for the one I said. But I don't know that it's going to get like that. It's all going to depend how this thing starts. I mean, you can see, like I said earlier, and like Derek said, I can see where this is a 3-0 to Sporting. I can see a 3-0 to Benfica. I can see a 3-3, a 1-0, a 1-1. There's so many. The efficiency is going to be the key in this one, and if tempers flare, it could end up getting like that. But typically, these games are more of a real football match, whereas when it's against Porto, it gets more into that scrappiness and more into the kicking and into the fighting. That's more the way they've gone. But again, the title's on the line, so I mean, you kick, scratch, claw, whatever you have to do to try to get that edge. But I don't think it's going to turn into a melee or anything like that.
Look at the last 5 or 6 Benfica Sporting matches.
Yeah,
they're like 5 or 6 instant classics. It's just,
right.
Things getting decided in the last minute.
Right.
Nothing to separate the teams. They're always so tight.
Yeah.
Mikey, and there's no reason for me to think that that's not going to be the case.
Right.
It's going to be.
If Di Maria is ready to go, what do you do with him? Do you start?
I save him until 60 minutes.
Okay.
That's what I would do. Oh yeah. He didn't even play last week, so I would not expect him to go in from the start. But I'm not Lige, and Lige really falls for the prestige of certain players. So it won't shock me at all if he's in the starting 11.
Okay.
Now, talking about prestige, right? And talking about impactful players in this season, Mauricio, we got Atucolo with 10 goals and 10 assists, and we got Trincao with 8 goals and 12 assists. 20 goals contribution.
20 goals each.
From both sides. Which one? I'm not going to say which one you're taking because I know which one you're taking. But who do you think he probably will have more impact on this game? You taking Karen or you taking Panchito? You taking Panchito Trincao?
He's thinking hard.
Yeah.
I know. I thought we froze.
Yeah. I would actually take Trincao. I would take Trincao with just the way he is on the ball and everything. I feel like Artugulu, he's a better passer, but I would take Trincao, just the dribbling and his shooting. I would go with Trincao. He's just been all season in form. That guy is never on a break. Never.
So,
I like to look at let's look at those stats, with Ruben and after Ruben.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
I like to look at those stats. Just give it like what was his production with Ruben and what was his production after Ruben.
Yeah, but in the well, he got, I think, 60% of that production was Ruben. I just making up a number.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Yeah, and he's had many more games without Ruben, but I do think that the best part of his season was under Ruben.
There's
a tongue twister.
He's just taking Trincao because the other name is damn tongue twister. It's a small ton of goal, brother. Just come like that.
I think he had it like that, and I think
he came in on fire. Like there was nobody
Yeah,
stopping him when he first
and I think
joined.
he's had a resurgence.
A little bit of one, yeah.
Yeah,
he's had a resurgence. Yeah.
And he is back at his peak right now.
Yeah.
He's back.
He's reemerged.
Was on fire the first 2 months of that when he arrived to the league. But so we said this a couple of weeks ago. I remember that when I said that both teams are coming into the picks, but Mikey stopped and like, no, Benfica is not on their peak yet. We're in ascent now, but we're not there yet.
No, there was still things to correct.
And now after this kind of like weird awkward game with Estoril, how do you think this team is coming up to the derby, man? How do you think the team is coming up to the derby, man?
This is where the peak has to happen. It's now. The time is now. There's nothing. It's for Benfica. It's win or it's over. Really, you can't. Yes, there's a mathematical chance, but you can't take. You're not going to take much confidence in that. So it is all. It's got to all be on the line. It's all or nothing in this game, especially at home. Especially when you see people sleeping on the sidewalk for tickets. Like they did for 2 days, waiting for that ticket booth to open. So
is it like 715 bucks for
that was the third party websites. That's the club came out right away and said don't buy on those websites because there's no guarantee those tickets are even going to be real. But this is it. The peak has to come now. This is what they've been building to, and this is the match of the year. I mean, if anything, if there is a positive in Sporting recovering those 3 points in the final seconds, it's that I would have been nervous with Benfica coming in with a lead. The way the lead has served them all season, every time they've taken the lead, they've fallen back. They've gotten comfortable. They have to win, so there's no time to come in and think of scenarios and bring out the calculator, as they say, and try to figure out other ways to the title. It's just got to come out and go for the win. It's plain and simple. It's a straight shot, win or it's over. So if they don't do it on Saturday, then they don't deserve to win the title. It's Sporting's. Congratulations if Benfica don't get the win this weekend. And they'll have to look back, and there were plenty of places along the way where Benfica and Sporting can both say whoever does not win will have plenty of places to point to where they let it slip. And I think that's at the end of the day going to be the story of this season, is which team dropped more points at the end of the day, which team let it out of their hand, because both teams dropped an awful lot of points for this league. And this is it. The peak has to be on Saturday. There's no other option.
Mr. Gomez, because of the way the victory came on this last game against Gil Vicente, the way that they battled, they fought, the way that they just came up with this dramatic 3 points. Is this you think that this is a confident booster that is stronger than the Benfica could have right now?
I mean, what is a greater like boost of morale than to win that way? I mean, you just run out of there on a high, a collective high. The team,
Collective high.
Yeah, a collective high. I mean,
I like that.
That's just a dream scenario to win it that way. So the team was flying high together. So yeah, I mean, even though it was we didn't play the best game, it was a tough game. Like I said, we didn't play at our best, but just to win that way, that right there to the players, that's telling them that this is meant to be. This is fate. We're supposed to win this thing. And I think that, I think that the win probably brought them closer together. It obviously boosted morale. And, it won't be because, they're low on morale that they lose this game against Benfica. I think they're going to go in there believing they're the team of destiny. They have been in first place for a vast majority of the season. So, yeah, I mean, I do think that, they know Benfica is the ultimate opponent. They're very tough. They're the eternal rival. This is going to be an extremely difficult game. There's 60,000 people, chanting or just cheering against you. But yeah, this team is going to feel like this is their destiny. They're going to go in there. And like I said, it's going to be an epic game. I really can't wait to watch it.
Man, I'm Jesus, man. I've been preparing for this game for like a month already, man. Jesus,
yeah. You knew it was coming.
It's crazy, man.
The storm was
crazy.
brewing.
And now, because of that, we're gonna go now with the predictions, guys. And of course, Mikey, we're gonna leave that derby for the last. All right,
yeah,
the derby last. All right, let's just go with all the other games, but we're gonna go for the derby last. Go, hit it, shoot it.
All right, in the fog, Nacional Rio Ave.
1-1. Mauricio?
I agree with you, 1-1.
Gomez?
That's my 0-0 game.
Mikey?
I'll throw Nacional a bone here and give him a 1-0.
Oh,
Just
nice.
Just to be different.
Nice. What's next?
Okay, island to island. Santa Clara versus Famalicão. Looks like it's at the same time as the other game.
I'll take Santa Clara. It's in the island, right?
Yeah, it's in the island.
It's in the island. In Ponta Delgada. I take Santa Clara 2-1. 2-1. Gomez?
I'm with you on this one, 2-1 Santa Clara.
Ruano?
I'll go Santa Clara 1-0.
Mr. Agostino?
2-2.
2-2. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lots of goals, man. All right. Next.
All right, we'll skip the derby. So it's Casa Pia versus Braga in Rio Maior.
3-0 Braga. Wow. Man. Away. They're playing. I don't know why they're playing better away than when they're playing at home. For some way, somehow. All right. Ruano?
I'm going to go. I'll go 2-0 Braga.
2-0 Braga. Gomez?
I'll go 2-1 Braga.
2-1 Braga. Mauricio, Mikey?
1-0 Braga.
1-0 Braga. All right. What's next?
Gil Vicente Aroca.
Gil Vicente Aroca. You know me. I want to see. 3-1 Gil Vicente. 3-1 Gil Vicente. Mauricio?
This will be my 0-0 game.
No. Gomez?
I'm going to go 1-1.
1-1. Jesus,
1-1.
Nobody has faith on my Gilistas, man. And Mikey?
1-1 was my thought also.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
All right, Estrela Amadora AVS.
Ugh.
The match everyone. That's the real classic.
That's the real one.
Yeah. Forget about that other one.
Mikey, where's this game at?
1-0.
Amadora.
1-0 Aves.
Wow.
Mauricio?
I'm gonna go 2-1 Amadora.
2-1 Amadora. Gomez?
I'm gonna go 2-0 Amadora. They're gonna clinch staying up.
Safety.
Yeah.
Mikey?
To not be the same as Derek, I'm going to say 3-0. Estrela. They're going to send
3-0.
ABS where they belong.
Yeah, it's time to go down.
Yeah.
Go back to get a real name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a real name.
What is it?
Go buy another club.
Yeah.
Moreirense Estoril.
That's the.
I still don't know why they hired the Bovista.
Yeah, I don't know what. That's a mystery.
It's just that's the carousel. That it's like a vending machine. You know, you put the coin in, you turn it, and that's
Yeah,
the
but you
coach
went to
that
go
comes
get
out.
the last place coach. Like, why?
Yeah, but once
Why?
they're in the
Why in the world?
carousel,
Why would you do that?
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Jesus, man. All right, 1-1 that one. 1-1. 1.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Estoril.
Gomez?
I think it's going to be 1-1. Yeah.
1-1. All right. Mikey?
2-1 Estoril. Yep.
2-1. All right. What's next, Mike?
Vitória Farense
Farense
at Vitória.
Vitória. Yeah. 2-1 Vitória. 2-1 Vitória. Ruano?
3-0 Vitória.
Nothing. All right. Gomez?
I'm going to go 3-1 Vitória.
Mikey?
2-0 Vitória.
2-1 Vitória. All right. What's next?
The Derby Tripeiro. The Derby. Boavista Porto.
Gee.
Roy's gonna kill us if they tie.
1-1.
Ooh.
That's my
Ooh.
1-1.
Oh, dude.
Oof. You believe in miracles, clearly.
I do. I love drama, brother. I'm a drama lover. Mauricio?
I think Porto's gonna go off. I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
3-0 Porto.
Oh, Gomez?
I'm gonna go 2-0 Porto.
2-0 Porto. Mikey?
3-1 Porto.
2-0 Porto. Okay. All right. Who's next?
The Derby. That's all we got left.
All right.
What do you got to say, Nino?
Oh man, he has to go first.
3-2. Sporting. Minute 94. Again. 94 minutes. 3-2.
I just changed my pick, Nino.
Mauricio?
Yeah. I had a pick. I just changed it.
I feel like Ruben right now, he's just hard to beat. He's really playing really, really good. I'm gonna go 1-1. I feel like it's gonna be really hard to get that other goal on, unless it's Yurkes with a magnificent one-on-one. Like Trubin to me is the X factor. I feel like he's just been playing so good.
Gomez.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Benfica, and and then my
I like what you did there.
My 3-month-long depression will begin.
It's like he's going to an AA.
It's gonna be a late goal. It's gonna be a late goal, and it's gonna hurt.
Jesus Lord, man.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna spend the next 3 months either in bed or out in my patio with the drinking.
All right, so hold on. All right. Okay, I'm gonna get back to Gomez, but all right, Mikey.
I was gonna say 2-1 Benfica as well, but since you said 94th minute goal, there will be a 94th minute goal, but it's gonna be Bruma making it 3-1, and the season's over in the 94th minute. Most devastating way possible with the ex-Sporting player. No, it's gonna be 2-1. 2-1. But I'll dream for 3.
Man. I like that. I like that. Hold on a second. We got Joby here. Nick Joby, what's his? I think Always come out in the 8th. It's going to be 3-1 Sporting. All right. What is trusted process? C. Barandistal says. Give me your prediction, brother. Give me your prediction. Give me a prediction for the derby. Let's see if we come up
Mikey,
with
did they say the referee yet for the game?
I haven't seen it, but I've been kind of
well, I
disconnected.
think we all know who it's going to be.
I know.
It's
I
not
don't
going to
wanna say
be
his
pretty.
name. I don't
We
wanna
know
say
it's
his
going to
name.
be him.
We'll
I,
see.
It's gonna be
I don't know
Mourinho.
why a guy that
If
is
it's him,
gonna be
I'll start
Mourinho.
my pick back to 3-1.
It starts with a
If it's
P.
the guy
I'm
is
not gonna
shrouded
say it.
in controversy. Every time he referees a big game, there's controversy.
All right.
That we talk
Here we go
about
with
for
the
weeks.
predictions.
But he,
All right.
he keeps on getting nominated. But
This is the crowd. Here's Andre, 1-0 Sporting. All right. Mr. Barandistal, 2-2 for the derby. Sporting wins on the final day.
I think only Sporting fans watch this show. This season, at least. This season, at least.
Oh, that's good.
Everybody's got green next to their name, or they have a picture of a lion.
Right.
yeah.
I don't know, man. And you know me. I mean, I've been saying this since day one.
Yeah.
Hey. And we'll see what happens on Saturday. I think my mom.
Don't ruin my Mother's Day. Don't ruin my Mother's Day.
I know. You got to strap yourself in, man. This is going to be a wild ride. Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
Guys, so clear, man. I love it. Yeah, I think my mama is gonna be here with me.
This is an audio show. What do you got to read for?
What a comeback! What a brutal comeback from Mikey. Absolutely. Stone Cold, man. Stone Cold Mikey from now on. Guys, thank you for the show. We'll see. We'll talk to you next season. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Slow the horses, Guys, what up? It's on Saturday. You don't have a game, right? You're not having a game, right, Mikey? With your son.
I do. I'm going to be coaching at exactly the same time as kickoff.
Oh shit!
So my phone will be on airplane mode.
I'll be at my daughter's dance recital, so I'll be having the phone and looking at her at the same time.
Yeah, no, great. My son doesn't play. My son doesn't play till Sunday, so
I will see another live game till the cup final.
All right, so I was planning on doing a freaking preview, a game preview, but the guys all busy, so
that'll be tough.
Yeah,
they want to put it in the early game, so if they'd have made this the late game.
I'm surprised.
I'm very surprised they didn't make it the late game.
I think it's because I've heard in the past, whenever the title is possibly going to be won, they want the earlier kickoff because the crowd is going to go into the streets, into the Marquês, and I think it has to do with that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I remember last year
because either team could invade the Marquês at the end of the night. So
yeah, no, I remember last year thousands of
Hey,
Sporting
yeah,
fans.
put Nick Jovi on.
Preview. All right.
Jovi do the preview. Hey, like I said, I got nothing. I'm just gonna be strapped in to watch the game, so I would do the preview as well. But
okay, but we need another. You need a Benfiquista.
Yeah, we need somebody to counter me. Yeah.
Maybe Cristiano. Maybe.
Yeah, what do you mean you need another Benfiquista? You've been asking me about Porto all season, dude.
I think we should get Peter Rufai.
Every team in the league.
Rufai will do the preview.
You mean Rufai?
We gotta get Rufai to do the preview.
Maybe. No, I'm gonna shoot a message, man. Maybe Rufai will come up. Hold on a second. Joao Pinheiro. Joao Pinheiro will be refereeing the Chelsea Conference League game on
Saturday. He's maybe out of the picture then.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be Godinho. You know that. It's Godinho is gonna be the one. Right?
It's pick your poison.
Yeah, he's like second.
I mean, Godinho within 10-15 minutes is gonna lose control of the game. He's gonna start throwing cards all over the place. Yeah.
Derek, was Godinho the one on Aves that gave Diomande the second yellow after going to VAR? Was he the one?
Was it him?
Was it him? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. I forgot if it was him.
I forget too. I feel like it was him. I don't know why.
I think
I don't have fond memories of Dino or
Right now, so talking about referee, guys.
Malledo. Oh, please, no. There's another
No,
one.
Pinheiro. No, Pinheiro's not. It's not going.
We got to
because-
stop talking about the referees. Derek's already going into depression. It's way before Saturday.
Yeah,
There's no good possible referee. So
no,
I know.
Yeah, I guess
So-
like for the Club World Cup again, they didn't select
Not a single one.
ref.
Not
Yeah.
one.
And that says it all. I mean,
yeah.
So, but if you gotta pick one, all right, let's do this, right? If you gotta, we're gonna do the ballots here, right? If we're gonna pick one out of these names, right? I'm gonna put Verissimo, Martins, Godinho, and Pinheiro. All right, this is the four names that can come up right now. Who would you pick for this game? I know no one. I know you can say no one. Give me one. Give me one. One. Which one you pick?
I guess I wouldn't mind. I mean, again, it's pick your poison, but I mean, Fabio Verissimo would probably.
Verissimo. All right.
He's been involved in less controversy than the others.
Okay, Mikey.
Yeah. Definitely not Verissimo. I don't ever want to see that guy. I don't even want to on a U10 game. Well, who's going to be in the VAR? Because that might be even worse.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll take Verissimo so that he's not in the VAR.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
I'll put him on the field so he's not in the VAR.
Yeah.
Rana, who you pick?
No, I agree with Derek. If I had to pick my poison, I'd probably go with Verissimo out of them.
Okay. I was gonna say the same guy. So Verissimo here.
I mean, so if it's Pinheiro, I can't remember the last time we finished with 11. When
I can't with that guy.
If he's doing a Thursday, he won't be. If he's doing a Thursday game, he won't be there Saturday.
I swear he gets all of our games at Porto all the time.
And we all know how those things end.
Every time.
Yeah, there's explosions and there's bullets flying and
Oh my God! All right, guys. Thank you for the show. Right. It was awesome. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Mauricio.
Awesome.
Now we'll see you on Saturday. We want to shoot messages to you guys. Probably, what do we do now? So half an hour or 1 hour before? An hour before kickoff, better, right? But better than half an hour because I gotta do the sound check and all that thing. An hour, 1 hour before kickoff. To do a preview. And of course, we send some text messages to Mikey. He's gonna be coaching.
My phone will be off, so.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm gonna find out. So.
Yeah. I know.
I'll be on airplane mode until I watch the game.
Like that too.
Okay. All right. That's not what I used to do, but anyway. All right, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Tuga Tuesdays is saying bye-bye until next time.
Adios, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.